Yo, what's good, everybody? Ronin Draws here. Today, we're gonna be kicking things back off by doing a manga review. Yeah, buddy. I'm really excited about this. We're gonna be looking at a story called The Seventh Kingdom. The story is by R.J. Atkinson. RJ is a very dope artist. I've been following him for some time on this manga, and I've been always getting like some Cowboy Bebop and like Trigun vibes in this. So I want to see if I got that right. We've done picked it up. I got it right here. The cover is immaculate, and I'm really excited to do a review on this. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. Also, it's been like a hot minute since we even did a video, right? So I want to say last time I did one was like way back when. So anyways, if you want to see more reviews like this one, drop a like for the algo. Let's get it. We're actually starting with Clairbelle. Keita, I think Keita's the last name. I could be saying that wrong. But Clairbelle, which it felt like it was a pun on clear as a bell. And I don't know if that has anything to do with the insight of the character's power or something like that. But it was, that was a pretty cool name. But it starts with Clairbelle. She's 19 years old, entering in what appears to be like a bar, essentially, right? And her situation, she's looking to find something and find someone specifically. I just want you guys to see that first part though, man. That joint was kind of hilarious. This dude, I would say she just hit him straight into PTSD and he just decided to go off. He just everything out. Whatever problems he had that day, he let it all out, man. He didn't care who was there. So after that, Clairbelle and the bartender have a quick little scuffle. And that's when we get a clean look at her weapon called the Alori Tonto, I want to say. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but we don't fully know what it means yet. But the way it's presented, I like how it looked. You can tell it's gonna matter later. So then finally, the person she came for shows up. The tea master. Turns out he's the owner of the bar. He sits her down for tea, literally, and the story slows down in a pretty good way. We learn he was a part of a group called the Seven Comrades, along with Clairbelle's father. And the more he talks, the more you realize her father wasn't just some regular Joe Schmo. You know, there's some history there with them. From here, the tone takes a pretty interesting shift. It gets more personal. We start understanding Clairbelle's situation, and then the story hits us with a flashback from 5 days earlier. So now we're in Nasak village. I'm terrible with names. Seeing Clairbelle with her father, right? And their dynamic, it low-key reminds me of Jiraiya and mixed with Master Roshi. He's acting old, he's joking around, but you could tell for real it's all the front. He's way stronger than he's letting on, and I'm kind of curious on how much he's gonna show. Clairbelle's trying to figure him out, like what's he hiding. At the same time, we start seeing glimpses of her abilities, and you can tell he's teaching her, just not directly. It's one of those mentor dynamics where the lessons don't feel like a lesson until it's like too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was teaching me that type of thing. And I gotta say, there's moments where I feel just in the paneling and whatnot, it's very like Studio Ghibli inspired in some ways. It got quiet. You could tell it's quiet, reflective. It's kind of letting you sit in the area that they're in. I actually kind of caught myself vibing out to the scenery in the clouds at times. So that was pretty dope. The narration wraps up this part with Clairbelle appreciating those peaceful times and moments, but now she's realizing this for real. She took those for granted, and yeah, that part, I know it hit different for her because like literally right after that, everything shifts. Her father suddenly senses something went wrong, whatever it is, and he's even saying like, bro, this is impossible, right? And yeah, he drops the old guy act immediately. He grabs Clairbelle, and they take off. And that's where the story leaves us essentially. So yeah, I feel like the story's It's about to go crazy for real. Her powers are like, and I don't think this is spoiling it. Her powers remind me a little bit of 11 from Stranger Things. As far as the part where she can like if she closed her eyes, it's almost like some form of astral projection. She can see past things. Like she can like move her mind and see other things in other spaces. I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm trying to find something to compare it to, but really it did kind of take its own shape, its own thing. And I really did like that, because at first I thought this was like set in their future, but as I started reading I was like, oh, this is actually doesn't have like a time frame on it, because you have futuristic weapons, however you have a setting that's in like kingdoms and it's still on Earth. I was almost thinking, because even in the cover here, catch me if I'm wrong, there's a spaceship here, right? So in my mind I'm thinking this is gonna be in space somewhere, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, the place, the time frame, at least the world building, seems like it's gonna be really rich. It's gonna be, as far as going forward, where it's going and whatnot. So I can't wait to see that. For the art section of it, I'm a huge fan of how the characters drawn, the spaces that they're in. I love the hair. I love the curls. She reminds me of two characters, one off of Ronin Kenshin, and then the other one's off Kenshi Mio. But she gives this this elegance about her and whatnot. I really like, but she's silly though. You know what I'm saying? I like the design of the characters, like the weapons and whatnot. Like I love the sword and whatnot. I think the only thing that I would look at, there was one space in here that I wanted to see. I was wondering if we saw that like at another angle. This is it right here. I end up seeing it. I thought she turned away, so I was like, oh, did she turn away from him and do that, or she do that like in front of the table? At that moment it took me out. I was wondering about that. But other than that, no, I actually like the art of it. At that moment it felt like it was a very distancing situation, because she's explaining something that happened, but as far as why she's having the whole journey to begin with. In cinematics, like if you're saying something like, I'm breaking up with you, like you ever notice one way of communicating that really cool is like literally putting like a side by side, so you see both of them and you see how big of a distance there is. Like if they were close in the beginning, but then you show like a wide shot and show how like far apart they actually are, and then you see like the message like, I'm breaking up with you, or he died, or she died. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. All right, bonus example here. You can also do one where it's really close up to the mouth and it'll give like the same impact as far as keeping that distance, or just the weight of something happening. Yeah. And I was just curious how that would come up in that type of work, or at least in that situation. I was just curious, but other than that, it was pretty cool. Oh yeah, the only other thing with the art, I would say, man, I just wanted to see more of the structures that they were in. Like when you first get in there into like the bar, like I wanted to see like outside the bar. I wanted to see the I gotta remember the names here. It's called Ken Isek, I want to say. That's in the first kingdom that they're at. That's where the story begins. So I did want to see like that kingdom itself, if that makes sense. Well, not even like the whole kingdom, but just that area. If I would just saw that, it'd be cool actually to see the whole thing too, and whatnot. Just that city, I thought that'd have been great. You guys know I'm in architecture stuff, so I love that. The volume, I felt like it was short. It was like more mystery and whatnot. So we had a lot of questions that by the end of it, you're gonna ask questions like, why is this? Why is that? And I'm cool with a mystery. You guys know that's how I'm building lights on. But one thing I did want to see was like a payoff on one of those things. That was like the only thing I wanted to see, like a payoff in like one of the, because I think by the end of you read it, you'll probably have like at least 3 questions, which I think are relevant to the story. What happened, where she's at, what's the mystery, why she wants revenge, right? So having a payoff to me isn't saying we know who the killer is, but like giving like a 10%, maybe even 20% of that is like somewhat a payoff. Like I wanted to see a little bit more to like give me some, I want something to chew on and whatnot. But other than that, no, I like the setup though. I like the setup of where it's going. I think it could be pretty good. Because I thought about this with Lights On. You guys remember when I first made Lights On, I made it as a one shot. But as I went along, I wanted to make it a series. And I think depending on like your situation, if you have people marketing for you, or if there's a timeline that you have to meet to get a certain amount done, it's very possible that when they made this work, that they've already had like other work already set out for it, but didn't get to put it in the first volume. If I probably would have got like volume 1 and 2, I probably wouldn't have it. I probably wouldn't even say that. That's the only thing I did want. I wanted to see like a payoff, a little bit of a payoff from some of the mystery that we got out of the story. But that's about it, man. Shout out to RJ, the author of The Seven Kingdoms. Seriously, this was a great read. I'm definitely locked in. So I can't wait to see where the story goes next. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you go show them some love, support of the original work. Definitely go cop it. And if you guys want to see more reviews like this, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to your boy. I know. I'll get y'all later. Stay sharp. Be easy.